Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Foundercube, a website dedicated to providing resources for entrepreneurs. In this video, we will learn how to create a beautiful Shopify e-commerce store in within 30 minutes with no coding involved at all. By the end of this video, you will be able to create stores such as this one right here. And we can see that it's a very nice and clean looking e-commerce store. So with that said, what exactly can you expect to learn out of this tutorial? Well, first I'll show you how to install a beautiful and free Shopify theme. Once we have our theme installed, then we will go ahead and begin customizing our theme to make it look something like this. Once we customize our theme, we will then go ahead and learn how to create products for our store, such as this one over here. We can see that this is what our product will look like once we've created it. We will have a nice product picture, a product title, a product price, the different variants for our product, and a product description. So once we have our products created, we will then go ahead and learn how to set up our shipping and payment methods so that we can accept customer payments in a correct and timely manner. Then once we have our shipping and payment methods good to go, we will then go ahead and set up a custom domain name for our Shopify store, such as this one right here. So with that said, guys, if this is something that interests you, then go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I would greatly appreciate your support. And with that said, if you're ready, then I'm ready, and let's get this tutorial started. So before we get started, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the description of the video, and right here where it says click to open resources page, go ahead and click this link over here. This link will take us to our resources page where I have listed the steps required in creating our e-commerce store. So it's very important that you click this link because it will help you keep track with what I'm saying in this tutorial. Okay, so let's go ahead and click this link right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where it says how to create a Shopify store. And right here, we will have a Get Started button. So let's go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this section of our page where it says watch the video to get started. Now we currently are watching the video, so we don't have to watch this. Just skip down over here to where it says step 1, create Shopify account. And right here, we will see a button which says get Shopify free trial. So let's go ahead and click this. This will give us a 14-day free Shopify trial. So let's go ahead and do that. So once we do that, we will be directed to Shopify's main page. So this is the page right here. We can see that it's a very nice and clean page. And depending on when you watch this tutorial, the layout might change a bit, but don't be too concerned about that. In the front and center over here, let's go ahead and put in our information. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my mail and then go ahead and press the Get Started button right here. Okay. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here which says start your free 14-day trial of Shopify. And now we're going to go ahead and set a password for our store and give our store a name. All right. So let's go ahead and enter a password that you will remember. And then for this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and call my store FC Tutorial. All right. Now this is just for a tutorial purposes. You can call your store whatever you want. So once you have a password and store name good to go ahead and press this create your store button. Okay. So once we do that, let's give it a second. So we can see that Shopify is now creating our store for us. It was really that simple. It took us about 2 clicks to do. Now let's just give it a second while it loads up, and we can see that success, your store is ready to go. Now this is a little survey page which we can just skip, to be honest. It's not important. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some random information in place. Now feel free to actually fill this out if you want, but just for the sake of time, I'm going through it very quickly. And then once you're done, press this next button right here. Okay, so once we do that, we will now be directed to this page right here where we're going to go ahead and enter our personal information. So let's go ahead and enter our information. I'm going to go ahead and actually blur this page out just because I don't want my personal information on the internet. All right. So once we have our information filled out, let's scroll down over here and press the button on the bottom right. All right. So once we do that, we can see now we have been directed to Shopify's backend. We can see that it's a very nice looking backend, right? Over here on the left, we have the different tabs that we can go ahead and use to access our store. And on the right over here, we just have some basic information, okay? So that's pretty straightforward. All right, so the first thing we're going to do now that we are in Shopify's backend is download a beautiful Shopify theme. So to do that, on the left over here where my cursor is, scroll down over here to the last tab. So right where my cursor is over here, go ahead and click that. So once we do that, we will be directed to the themes page by default. Now, if you're not directed to the themes page, you can simply click this themes tab right here and it will take you to this page right here. Okay. Now we can see that Shopify has installed a default theme for us called Debut. Now for this tutorial, we're actually going to use this theme because in my opinion, this is the best free theme available. However, if you want to check out the different free themes available to you, you can just scroll down right here to where it says explore free themes. Just go ahead and click that button right here, and we can see a list of free themes available pops up. Okay, now these are all very nice themes, and we can see that our theme debut is currently live. All right, so let's say, for example, if you want to pick a different theme, you simply click on the theme. You can check out its different features right here. You can pick a style that best meets your needs, and then go ahead and press the install theme button right here. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and actually pick our default theme, which is installed for us by Shopify, which is Debut. Now I highly recommend that you do the same because it will help you follow along with what I'm saying in the tutorial. All right, so once we have that done, let's go ahead and press the close button over here, and let's scroll up to the top, and let's actually view our theme. To view our theme, right here on the top right, press this button right here where my cursor is, and let's give it a second while it loads. So there we go. We can see that this is what our default theme looks like. It's a very simple and clean theme, and that's why I really like it. Now, as far as the content on the theme goes, we're going to go ahead and actually start customizing our theme in a second, but for now, this is what it looks like. Okay, so with that said, now let's go ahead and begin customizing our theme. So to customize our theme, in our toolbar right here, just go ahead and press this customize theme button. Now, if you can't find this customize theme button in our toolbar, just go back to our previous tab over here in our themes page and press the customize theme button on the top right. Okay, so let's go ahead and enter it through our toolbar. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, and we can see that it's divided into two sections. On the left over here, we have the different sections in our page which we can go ahead and customize. And on the right, we have our theme available to us for preview. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is I'll quickly show you how to use the different tabs and what you can do. And then once we have it figured out, you can go ahead and, make your own home page however you want it. All right. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. If you want to pick a particular section, you just click on it, and then you can go ahead and customize that section in your page. If you want to remove that section, you can just scroll down over here and press this remove button on the bottom left. Okay. So let me just go back to our sections over here, and I will go ahead and customize this first section, which is our header section. So you click it, and we can see that the first thing I'll do over here is put up a nice logo. So just press this button over here, and then we can go ahead and put up a logo. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this logo right here, and let's give it a second, and we can see that Shopify has put up our logo for us on our theme. Now you can go ahead and center it if you want. If we scroll down over here, we can go ahead and change the custom logo width to 200, for example, and we can see that it's considerably bigger. And then you can make more changes just like this, and just use your creativity to put the logo in the center if you want, on the left. It's completely up to you. So once you have that figured out, it's pretty much the same thing for the remaining sections. I'll just quickly show you this section right here too. So I just click it, and then I can put up a nice little cover picture. Let's give it a second while it loads up. And we can see that Shopify puts the picture up. I can scroll down over here to reposition it. I can change the text over here for the heading and the subheading right here. If I scroll down, we have our section height from extra small to extra large, completely up to you once again. And then once again, we have our text size, which can be medium or large. Let me just show you what that looks like. And then if you want to put a button over here, you can put a button like shop now, for example, and then link it to, let's say, your collections. Okay, so you can just use this pretty simple navigation to come up with whatever kind of style of homepage that you want. Now, one more thing I want to show you before I move on is if we go back to our sections tabs right here, if you click this general settings button over here, you can go ahead and change stuff like typography, color. So for example, if you want to change the typography of your website, you can change its size right here. For example, put it at 36. We can see, let's just give it a second, that it's much bigger now. Here's the different font families that you can pick from. Same thing with your body text. You can change the body text and the body text font family. Okay, now let me just go back over here. The next thing I want to show you is if you go ahead and press this colors tab right here, you can change the colors to your body text, your heading, buttons, text fields, all kinds of things you can just change here. Okay, so pretty straightforward stuff, guys. Now I'm not going to go ahead and show you, what to customize on your website. It's completely subjective and it depends on what you're trying to sell. So with that said, now I'm going to go ahead and actually finish customizing my homepage, and then we will move on to our next section. Okay, so I'll be back in a second. So there we go, guys. I went ahead and customized our homepage. If I scroll down right here, we can see that I went ahead and added some text here, a title, a call to action button, a nice picture. If I scroll down over here, we have a nice little slider, and then we have a newsletter section right here. Okay, So it's pretty straightforward stuff, guys. It's just like I showed you. We just play around and customize the different tabs, okay? So once you have your own home page ready to go, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and actually customize our navigation menu. So we're going to go ahead and add our about and contact pages, and then we will put them on our navigation menu right here. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's go back to our Shopify backend. So once we do that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put up our about and contact pages. So to create a page, just go to your left over here and then scroll down right here to where it says pages. So where my cursor is on the third tab, go ahead and click that. Once you click that, you will be directed to this page over here, and we can see it right here. It says add pages to your online store. And on the top right, just go ahead and press the add page button. Once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, and now we can begin creating our first page. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and first give our page a title. I will call it Contact Us. Okay, so once we have our title in place, in the visibility section right here, make sure it's set to visible. And then on the template section right here, go ahead and click this drop down and pick the page.contact template. And what this template does is it creates a functioning contact form for us without us having to do any work at all. Okay, so once you have this template in place, that's pretty much our contact form good to go. We can press the save button on the top right. And once we do that, we can now go ahead and actually view our contact page. So let's go ahead and press this view button on the top left, and let's give it a second while it loads. So we can see that our contact page has been created for us. We have a nice functioning contact form with a name field, an email field, phone number, message, and a send button. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now with that said, guys, some people might say that this is a very plain or basic page. If you want to further fluff this page up with some nice pictures and videos, you can do that right here. You know, you can go back to your page right here and put in some nice pictures, videos, text. It's really up to you. But for simplicity's sake, I would recommend that you stick with the template and keep it very clean and simple. Okay, so once we have our contact page good to go, the next page that we're going to create is our about page. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's go back to our back end, and on the top over here where it says pages, you can press the back button right there, or press the pages tab in your navigation right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and click it over here, and once we do that, we will be directed once again to this screen which says pages, and we can see our contact page was created. And now we're going to go ahead and press the add page button once again, and then we're going to go ahead and repeat the process. So let's go ahead and give our page a title. I will call it About Us. Make sure it's visible. Now unfortunately we don't have a template for our about page, so we're gonna go ahead and add some content here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy some dummy content in here. Okay, so once you have your content in place, you can go ahead and save it. If you want to further customize this, for example, if you want to add a nice little picture here, you can just press this button here, choose your picture. You can pick a size that best meets your needs. So let's say for example medium. And there we go. We can see our picture will be inserted right here. Now if you're unhappy with your picture, you can just double click it and further customize it. So you can change the size right here to large. You can put it in the center, put some spacing, wrap some text. It's really up to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that very quickly. And let's give it a second. So there we go. We can see that the picture is now in the center. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually remove it for now, but you can keep any picture you want. So once we have that done, let's go ahead and press the save button, and let's quickly just view our page once again by pressing the button on the top left. And let's give it a second. So we can see that this is our about page. Now once again, I know that this is not the best about page or the nicest looking page in the world, but you get the point, guys. It's really up to you. Just use your creativity, but this is how you set up your pages. Okay, so once we have our about and contact pages created, we will now go ahead and link them to our navigation menu so that customers can access them with no problem. So to do that, we're going to go back to our backend right here, and then in the same path over here in our navigation menu, we're going to go ahead and hit this navigation tab. So right where my cursor is, go ahead and click that. And once we do that, let's scroll down over here to where it says main menu. Okay, so go ahead and click that. And once you do that, you will be directed to this page over here where it says menu items. Then we can see our two current menu buttons right here in home and catalog. So these two right here. Now let's go ahead and add two more over here. I'm going to go ahead and press this button over here. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to go ahead and give our first menu a About Us title. Okay, and then we will link it to a page. So make sure you link it to a page. And then where it says select a page, make sure you select your About page, because we're going to go ahead and call it the About Us page. Okay, Then go ahead and repeat the exact same process for your contact page. I will say contact. Actually, you know what? I will say about here. Okay. So once we have our name set up, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to link it to our page, and then we're going to make sure we link it to our contact page. Okay. So once we have that done, you can further play around with this. You can put this in the second if you want and just change how you want to place it. So for example, if you want to put your contact third, about second, and I'm going to go ahead and call this products because it's more easy to understand. Okay, so once we have your navigation menu ready to go, just go ahead and press the save button again, and then we can just quickly refresh the page to see what it looks like over here. Let's give it a second. So there we go. We can see that we have 4 navigation buttons right here that we can press. So for example, contact, about, home, and then you get the point. Okay, so there we go, guys. We have our navigation menu good to go. And the next thing now we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up our products. So now I'll show you how you can add a product to your Shopify store. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So to create our first product, we can go back to Shopify's backend over here. And on the left right here, let's scroll down to our third tab where it says products. So go ahead and click that. So once you do that, you will be directed to this products page over here. And on the top right, we will see a button which says add product. So just go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this page over here. And now we can begin creating our product. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give our product a title. I will call it sports watch. So once we have a product title in place, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give our product a description. So I'm going to go ahead and use this dummy description right here. You can go ahead and use any description that you want. So once you have a description in place, let's scroll down to where it says pictures right here. So let's go ahead and put up a product picture. So I'm going to use this dummy picture right here. And once we have our picture in place, we can scroll down to where it says pricing. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a pricing of $40. Then over here where it says stock keeping unit, this is a unique way to identify each product. So I will give it a stock keeping unit of 1. So this uniquely identifies my sports watch. And then I can scroll down over here to where it says shipping, keep this checked. As far as the weight and international customs go, you can keep this blank, they're not very important. Then we can scroll down to our last section over here which says variance. Now if your particular product has different variants, for example different colors or different sizes, you can put them right here. So just press this button over here and then go ahead and pick your particular variant. So let's say for example purposes we have different colors for our watches. We can go ahead and put red, or actually you know what, black, comma, red, comma, white. So essentially 3 different colors for our particular sports watch. Okay, so once you have your variant set, now that's pretty much it for our product. Over here very quickly, you can go ahead and give different pricing for each variant. So let's say for example if the red watch is more expensive or if the white watch is cheaper, you can go ahead and set the different pricing. Okay, so once you have that done, let's go back to the top over here to where it says product type. You can go ahead and set up watches, you know, or your particular product type. If you have a particular product that you're selling for someone else, you can go ahead and put the vendor's name here. And as far as collections go over here, make sure you select the home page collection because this ensures that this particular product will appear on your home page. So it's important that you set that up. The tag section over here is not important, so you can leave that blank. So once you have that done, we have created our first product and we can go ahead and press the save button on the top right. So once we do that, we can see that congratulations, you've created your first product. Now one very quick thing that I do want you to make sure once you create a product is scroll down to our variant section over here and make sure that each variant that you create has a product picture associated to it. So for example, we have a black watch right here. Make sure you go back and put up a black picture for it. It just helps customers visually see each product. Okay, so for example, when we have our red variant, I'm going to go ahead and add the red watch right here, and then I'll repeat the process for my white variant right here. Add images, white watch, and there we go. Okay, so once you have that in place, now we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and actually, okay, you know what, Shopify saves it for us automatically. So once we have that saved, I'll quickly show you what it looks like on our front page. Let me just refresh this page very quickly, and let's scroll down right here, and there we go. We can see our particular watch, the pricing right here, the title. If I click it, we can see that our description is in place, the 3 different variants. If I click a variant, we can see the picture changes. So that's very useful, and the pricing also changes. Okay, so that's pretty much how you create your first product, guys. Pretty straightforward stuff. And once we have that done, in the next section, we're gonna go ahead and set up our shipping and payment methods so that we can accept customer payments in a correct and timely manner. Okay, so with that said, let's get right into it. Let's go back to our Shopify backend. So once we're on Shopify's backend, on the left side over here, let's scroll down to where it says settings. So where my cursor is right here, go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this page over here, and we can see a list of tabs available to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start off with our payments tab right here. So go ahead and click that. So once you click that, you will be directed to the payments page over here, and we can see that Shopify has installed two default payments methods for us in Shopify Payments and PayPal. Now, I highly recommend that you keep these two payment methods as your desired payment methods, simply because they're the most popular and more secure payment methods, okay? Now, I know that for some people, Shopify payments might not be accepted in your particular country. If that's the case, then just stick with PayPal. I promise you it's the best way to accept money. Okay, so with that said, as far as setting up your account score for both of these different payment methods, you can simply press the button over here, fill in your bank information, and it's very straightforward. As far as PayPal goes, it works a little bit differently. How this works is right after you make your first sale, they will send you information on how to create your PayPal merchant account, and from there you can claim your funds. It takes about 30 seconds to do at best. It's very easy. Okay. Now, if for whatever reason you want to go ahead and use a different payment method, you can do that very easily by just scrolling down over here and checking out the different payment methods available to you. So you have things like BitPay, Coinbase, KuCoin, and just different payment methods. Now, like I said, guys, I highly recommend that you stick with PayPal and Shopify payments. They're the most known and most trusted payment methods. So with that said, just go ahead and set it up, put in your banking information. And once you have that good to go, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up our shipping methods. Okay, so let's scroll to the top over here and press the settings button once again. And then we will be directed to this page once again. And right here, we will see our shipping tab. So just go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to our shipping page over here. And on our shipping page where it says zones and rates, so right over here, go ahead and find that section. And then we can see that Shopify has two default zones set for us. One's a domestic zone. In my case, it's Canada because I live in Canada. And one's a shipping zone for the rest of the world. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and remove these two zones. That's what I usually do. So let's go ahead and do that right now. You can keep them if you want. It's not really that important, okay? So let's go ahead and remove it. I'm going to go ahead and press this button over here on the top right. Once we do that, let's give it a second while it loads. We can see that the shipping zone information is over here. I'm going to scroll down and press the delete zone button on the bottom left. Go ahead and confirm it. And there we go. We can see our domain has been removed. Now I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process by removing a second default zone right here. So once again, just press the button on the right. Give it a second while it loads. Scroll down over here, press delete zone, confirm it, and we're good to go. So once we have our two default shipping zones deleted, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and actually create our own shipping zone. Now you can create whatever shipping zone you want. For this tutorial, we will go ahead and create a free shipping zone where we give customers free shipping. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's click this button on the right. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where we fill out our zone information. So let's go ahead and give our zone a name of free shipping. Okay, so once you have your free shipping zone name ready to go, let's go down over here to where it says countries, press the button over here, and now go ahead and include the countries that you want in your free shipping. Now, since in my case, I live in Canada, I will include Canada, and sometimes I sell to the States, so I will include these two countries. You can put whatever location you want. Once you have them in place, just press the button over here. We can see that Canada and the United States has been put up for us, okay? So then we can scroll down over here to where it says price-based rate. Go ahead and press the button over here. Now let's go ahead and give our shipping zone a name once again. So over here, just type free shipping. Then we can scroll down over here. If you are going ahead and adding free shipping, just press this checkbox and we can see it says free shipping rate. If you don't want to give people free shipping and you want to charge them for it, you can simply deselect it. And then over here, you can go ahead and put in your amount. So for example, $50 for shipping. I mean, that's pretty absurd, but like $10. Okay, so you can set your amount over here if you don't want to give free shipping. But I'm going to go ahead and actually check it and keep it at free shipping. Once you have that done, just press the done button over here. And then we are good to go. We can just save this from the top right over here. And there we go, guys. We have put in a free shipping zone for customers in Canada and the United States. Okay, so let's just make sure everything is good. We can see that successfully created free shipping zone, and it's right here. Okay, cool. So once we have that done, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and fill out our checkout forms. So it's very important that when you create an e-commerce store that you have your terms and condition, refund policy and privacy policy in place so that you don't get into any legal trouble with customers. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that up right now. Let's go to the top once again, press the settings button right here. And then once again, we are on this page with the different tabs. And right here, we will see a checkout tabs available to us. Go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this page over here. Now we can scroll down all the way to where it says refund privacy and TOS statements right here. Okay, so on the right, we will see a refund policy tab right here. Now, in most cases, you would have to create your own refund policy, but Shopify makes it very simple for you by pressing this button over here, which says generate sample refund policy. We can see that Shopify creates our refund policy for us with no work at all. Okay. Now, I would recommend that if you have some time to go and check this out and just actually read it because, it's important. But if you don't really want to spend too much time, you can just quickly skim through it. It's pretty standard and pretty generic stuff. Okay. Then we can scroll down to privacy policy. Once again, just press generate sample privacy policy. And we can see that Shopify does the work for us. It's pretty cool stuff. Okay. Then once again, where it says terms of service, just press the generate sample terms of service. And we have our terms of service in place. Now, guys, one last time, I do recommend that, you read this just for the sake of safety and you have full control of what's been said in these documents. But in most cases, it's very standard and generic stuff, and it's not, the worst thing if you don't read it. Okay, so once you have that done, go ahead and press the save button on the top right. And with that said, we have our checkout methods, our payment and shipping good to go. And now we can accept customer payments in a correct and timely manner. So with that said, guys, in the next step, we're going to go ahead and set up a custom domain name for us, and we're going to remove our storefront password. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So to create our custom domain on the left side over here, let's scroll down over here to where it says online store. Go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this page over here, and we can see a pop-up right here which says customers can check out because your store is password protected, remove password. So we can go ahead and remove our password from there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to our left side over here and where it says domains. So right where my cursor is right there, go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this page over here where it says domains. And over here, we can see it says buy new domain. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go ahead and create our domain for our Shopify store. And we do this because we don't want this myshopify.com to come up when customers search for our store. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Press the buy new domain button and let's give it a second while it loads. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here which says buy domain. So go ahead and put in the domain name that you want. For this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and see if FC tutorial is available. Let's give it a second. Okay, it's not. I'm going to go with FC tutorial test. I highly doubt someone's. Okay, perfect. So we can see that fctutorialtest.com is available for $14 a year, which is very economical, guys. It's an investment for your store. And once you have a nice domain name pick, just go ahead and press the buy button over here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where we put in our credit card information. Now I'm going to go ahead and blur this page out for security reasons. So once we have our credit card information in place, we can just scroll down and press the continue button right here. So let's go ahead and actually fill this information out very quickly. I will fill it out and I'll see you in a second. So I went ahead and filled out my billing information. And once we have our billing information filled out, let's scroll down to the bottom where it says continue and just go ahead and press that button over there. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here which says buy a new domain. It's just a confirmation page. We can scroll down right here and we can go ahead and press the buy domain button on the bottom right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And we can see very quickly over here that the next payment will be on July 29, 2018, exactly a year from now. Okay, so let's go ahead and press the buy domain button. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here. We can see that a verification is required. So just go back to your Gmail account or wherever you created your account with and just make sure you verify your domain purchase. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I will be back in a second. So there we go, guys. I went ahead and verified my domain and then I was redirected to this page over here which says that my domain name is good to go. We can see my status is green and now we have set up our domain name. Okay. So once we have that done, now we can go back to our domains tab over here. Just go ahead and press this button right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here. And now one very important thing that we do need to do is over here where it says set your primary domain, make sure you in the drop down right here, select the domain that we just created. So the fctutorialtest.com domain, in my case right here. Okay. So make sure you select this domain. So the domain you just created for your store. So once you have that done, just go ahead and press the redirect all traffic to this domain and press the save button right here. So once we do that, our domain name is good to go. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove our storefront password so that customers can check out and buy products from our store. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Over here on our left side, scroll down to where it says preferences. So right where my cursor is over here, go ahead and click that tab. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, and we can see in this pop-up it says customers can't check out because your store is password protected, remove password. So we can go ahead and press this button over here, or we can scroll down right here to where it says password page, and over here it says to disable your password page you need to pick a plan. So to let customers actually check out from your store and buy products from your Shopify store, you need to pick one of Shopify's plans. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead and press this button which says pick a plan. So once you do that, you will be directed to this page over here which says pick a plan for your store. And we can scroll down right here and we can see that there are 3 different plans available to us. The first one being for $29, a basic plan. The next one being for $79, the standard Shopify plan. And then one for $2.99, which is a more premium or advanced plan. Okay. Now, depending on which plan you need, it's really up to your needs. If you're starting your first Shopify store or e-commerce store, I would recommend going with the basic plan. If you have a brand that is established or you're trying to move over to Shopify, I would recommend going with the standard Shopify plan for $79. And if you're a big corporation watching this tutorial and you have a lot of cash to spend, I would recommend going with the $299 a month plan for more advanced features. Okay. So pick a plan that best meets your needs, and I do want to make one thing clear is that Shopify won't bill you till the trial is over, okay? So by that I mean that when we started this tutorial off, we went ahead and signed up for a free 2-week trial with Shopify, and what Shopify does is it makes you pick a plan right now, but you get billed at the end of the Shopify trial. If you don't like how Shopify is, or if you don't like the functionalities of Shopify, you can cancel your store in those 2 weeks and you will not be billed. Cool. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and pick a plan. I'm going to go ahead and pick the basic Shopify plan for this tutorial. You can pick any plan you want. So once we do that, let's give it a second while it loads. We will be directed to this page over here, which has our billing information. And over here, we have our billing cycle available to us. So you can pick a billing cycle that meets your needs. You can go with a monthly billing cycle, yearly, 2 years, 3 years. It's completely up to you. So for this tutorial, I'm going to stick with the monthly cycle. And then once we have that done, let's go ahead and press the confirm changes over here. And let's give it a second while it loads. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, which is Shopify's homepage for its dashboard. And now there are a couple things that we need to do to finalize setting up our store. We need to scroll down over here and we need to confirm that we have removed our password page. So go ahead and press this button over here, which says remove password page. And once we do that, it will take us back to our preferences tab that we were at a second ago. And now we can see that over here, we don't have to pick a plan anymore. We just have to make sure that this is disabled. So once this is disabled, we just need to save it, and that will remove our password page for good. Okay. So once we have that done, if we go back to our home tab once again by clicking this button over here, we can see that our home page for our dashboard has completely changed. On the right over here, now we have the different stats about our store, like the total sales. And if we want to go ahead and view our store right now, you can do so very simply by clicking this button on the left where my cursor is. Let's give it a second while it loads. And we can see that this is the store that we created. It's good to go and customers can come and start buying from us. We have a nice navigation menu. We have a cover picture with a title and a call to action button. We have some products to choose from right here. We have some description about our company, a picture, a learn more button over here. We have sliders for our product, a newsletter section, and it looks very nice and clean. So with that said, guys, that's the end of this tutorial. I really do hope you found it informative. If you did, go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I would greatly appreciate your support. Check out Foundercube.com. I create all kinds of free tutorials and reviews on things like this. And with that said, this is the end of this video. I'm signing off and I'll see you in the next video.